Hi guys and welcome to Neecee Lexy. In today's episode I have two incredible Vancouver-based artists and music producers. Maddie with me here today as well as B.Morales. I have met him actually in our last conversation, as you guys know, when he was doing the Imani music listening. You guys have seen B.Morales before, and I'm excited to also have Maddie joining us for this conversation. Yeah, so for those who don't know so much about you, can you guys all explain what you guys do and how did you get to start your career?
Yeah, ladies first. For me, my background is mostly in front of the camera as an actor. That's really like how I started in the whole entertainment industry. I have a passion for storytelling, and I'm someone who has a really strong need to express herself, and my creative brain is always going. And I think I got to a point with my acting career where I didn't want to wait for a phone call anymore to start creating. And so that's when I started doing music with B.Morales. We've known each other for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And we met actually, I was doing a web series. I was acting in a web series and he was doing the music for it and all the sound stuff. And that's how we met. And I moved out here, and then later on he did as well. And we reconnected. And I was just coming to the studios and to hang out and all that stuff. And I was like I could feel the musical urge, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to start like doing music. I want to start writing, and I started writing, and I just fell in love. Really, I fell in love with the whole process and working with them. Just had a good time.
Awesome. And for you, how did you get start your career in the music industry?
I started playing piano when I was 3. I'm a classically trained piano player. My older brother, he was playing piano. He's 2 years older than me. So when he started playing piano, I wanted to be just like him. So I started, trying to mimic what he was doing.
Yeah.
And that sort of progressed into over time. I became much better than him. That sort of, I also grew up listening to a lot of hip hop and a lot of R&B, and I love West Coast 90s hip hop. And they used a lot of instrumentation. So I started trying to learn how to play these songs, and that's sort of how I started the whole beat making process. And from there, I was making beats, learning how to record, and then I started working with, artists like Checkmate and Concise in Vancouver, Heatwave and Marash, Red One. And everything just sort of started clicking, and my skills just got better and better and better over time, and that's sort of how it all came about. I moved out to Toronto to try and do the same thing out here, connect with all the artists out here, and keep improving. And
that's amazing. So how did you guys, because I know recently you worked together in collaborating in doing a new single, right? So can you walk us through what the inspiration behind the current single that you guys just released?
Okay, so basically it just started with us sort of being in the studio and having a good time. And I think this was a phase in my life where I just wanted to feel happy. So
we were taking dance classes.
And I was taking dance classes, and I was really feeling the sort of more like upbeat, fun reggae with a little hip hop pop. I was just really feeling that vibe. Like I wanted to create music that was fitting to the mood I was in my life, and I just wanted to do fun things. And so that's like sort of how we started. We just started really like having fun in the studio, and it one song led to another, and then we started seeing that we had like a little.
You got a niche that nobody else is doing.
We were like, okay, this is like a sound that like very much belongs to us, that we've created. I incorporate different languages because I speak French and English and Portuguese and all of that, and this is sort of, I guess, a fun time at the studio turned into like we should like release this music and just see where it goes, because you send it around and you get some feedback and people are like, oh, this is like really I love it. It's fun. Like, where can I find it? Where can I find more?
Yeah.
Like, well, let's go ahead and release it. So we released the EP, my EP called Bring on the Night,
Yeah.
July 8th of this year, 2020.
Yeah.
And
We
we
had,
also
we had two singles as well that we released before we
Yeah.
dropped the EP. One song called Je me souviens.
Yeah.
That was like the third or fourth song that we ever did. And yeah, like she was saying, the more and more we work together, everything just got better and better. And we just packaged it up and like, this sounds like a good bunch of songs here.
yeah.
So for this album that you have recently, that's part 2 of the album, right?
No, this album right here is my album. I released the album called The Winning Effect in 2015, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It was a mixtape. It was 32 songs long or something. It was a
Oh,
lot
wow.
of. It was a lot of like. It was a mixtape in the traditional sense of a mixtape. Every song blended together. There were no breaks. There were, a verse from one song and then a freestyle and then two verses on another song. This was basically the follow up to that.
Yeah.
This is more. It's only 8 songs long, but it's full songs. The other one had a lot of samples in it. This one's all sample free.
So can you guys walk us through the vibe between the Winning Effect part 2 and also the Brighten and the Night? So what is the vibe? Are we expecting that for people that are kind of wanting to listen to the album? What can we expect out of it?
Yeah, so Bring on the Night is the kind of music you want to play loud in your car or you want to dance to. It's upbeat, it's summery, it's
feel good dance music.
it's feel good. Yeah, you listen to it and you want to dance around in your underwear. That's how I feel. That's what I want to do when I listen to it.
Happy and jolly.
Yeah. Or you just like it's a summer day, you're driving around, you roll the windows down or of course the windows down and you just start vibing. Like that's really like what the intention behind it was. I think just to do something that was like exciting and fun and you want to listen to it loud and if we were going out dancing, this is the kind of thing we would want to hear. I think right now there's no club dancing at the moment, but that'll come back and that's the kind of music for that. And I think for your project,
the Winning Effect part 2 is more I would say West Coast in the sense that it has a very like LA element to it. A handful of songs were done in LA with LA artists. And me being from the West Coast, I'm heavily influenced by that sort of sound. But there's also there's R&B songs on it. There's like smoker songs on it. If you blaze, there's a song for you on there too. If you like trap, there's a song for you on there too. So it's sort of a mixture of everything, yet everything still all fits together.
Yeah, amazing. So for you guys both right now being in Toronto and kind of understanding the Toronto music scene and also have experience in the West Coast and music scene, do you think that there's a gap lacking in the two diversity? So can you talk more about it?
His answer was he has things to say. So why don't you do it?
Vancouver has a much more laid back vibe to it. Things get done a lot slower in Vancouver. Things move a lot faster in Toronto. There's a lot more of a hustle. There's a lot more people doing things out here. So if you're slacking out here, you don't get forgotten about.
That's
right.
Whereas
stay in trend.
Exactly. You gotta be on top of your game up here. You can't fall back. And Vancouver, it gets very easy to get left behind because it's so laid back.
So recently I've seen that a lot of DJ artists and stuff, during the quarantine, they were doing a lot of live parties on Instagram to kind of engage with the audiences. Have you guys considered doing so, or did you guys even try doing something similar?
We haven't tried, I think for the simple reason that we used quarantine to finish this project. So we spent it in the studio finishing all the songs and all of that. So I think if the projects would have been finished before quarantine, maybe we could have done things like that. But because we were in the midst of, making sure everything was okay and doing all the last re-recordings if we needed to re-record and all of that, we really maximize our time during quarantine to be here in this room and to be, mixing and mastering and recording and all of that. But I love that idea actually. I think that's something to look into for sure.
So, speaking of also the Instagram situations and also like social media in general, how have you guys maximized social media to put your brand or your songs out there at the moment?
Well, this is my confession. I am awful at social media.
Me as well. So the answer to your
guys,
question for me
like,
is
if you have advice, please holler at me. Because no, I'm really bad at social media. Just because I like to be like very present in my life and very like connected to what I'm doing, and so I'm always forgetting to capture moments and to have my phone out because I tend to be like, I'm here with you and all that. So I'm not the person who's like, let's take photos or let's take videos. And in this day and age, and especially with what we do, being artists and being creative, like that's super important. But I always forget to do these things. And then, last minute I'll be like, oh my God, we should take some photos for this and that or to promote the new song and all that sort of thing. So I feel like as far as social media goes, like I have a lot of work to do, I think, on that aspect of things, and I have a lot to learn when it comes to social media and like promoting myself and stuff like that. And I'm also someone that has like I don't really like necessarily like selling myself or talking about myself too much in that sense. So it's something that I find like I don't want to be annoying, like, guys, like, hey, check out my stuff. But I should be doing that because it's important if I want my music and my products to be out there and to be heard by people. I should be
like share your musical product.
Exactly. Yeah, we have shared it, on social media and on Facebook and all of that, and have tried to push it in the ways we know how, I guess. But like doing things like this, what we're doing with you, and talking about it with other people that have a platform and stuff like that, I think that's like probably the best thing to do.
At least you're one step there, which is
great.
Yeah,
we're gonna get there.
That's it. What about you?
I'm even worse at social media than her. You're actually not bad because you at least post like stories somewhat daily. I have never posted a story in my life.
Have you never?
Nope.
Not even gone live?
Nope. Not on purpose.
Okay, maybe a challenge for you to start it once so people feel like gonna start to get to learn more about it. And also, you can also do a live listening party.
Yeah,
something a lot is happening. So we can look forward to that, guys.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Exactly.
B.Morales on a live party. That's amazing. So going back to your music and experience growing up in Cincinnati, what was it like that moment that you knew, like, I can do this for a living, and that's actually my cool path. What was that moment?
Well, like I grew up in Quebec City, and Quebec City doesn't have a huge entertainment industry. I guess if you really want to make it somewhere in Quebec or around Quebec, it's at least Montreal. Because Quebec City itself is not really happening as far as, entertainment, whether it's music, whether it's film, TV, and all that sort of thing. Like you sort of have to venture out. So me, I fell in love with movies first, and I knew at a very young age that I wanted to be an actress. Like that was clear in my mind, and I knew that by having that goal, I would have to move somewhere else. I would have to leave Quebec City, and I thought Montreal, but I was like, I don't know, like that feels a bit too close. So I opted for Vancouver. And I remember when I was a kid, I was always by myself in my room in front of the mirror, pretending to be, because of the whole acting thing, I've been pretending to be so and so in a character, and often the characters I was pretending to be were like singers or performers. Well, I didn't really have in mind the goal of I wanna eventually do music and sing, and that's one of my goals. It wasn't like that until recently, actually. But I've always been so musical, and I've always loved music so much. And I don't know if maybe I thought that I didn't know how to get into it or something like that. So maybe I didn't really investigate enough, and my eggs all went in the acting basket. Like, like this is really like what I felt my place could be in the entertainment industry was to be an actor. So I sort of invested all of my time, my money, my everything into that, schooling and all of that. And then music sort of came like naturally. It was such a natural like introduction in my life, and I just kind of went with it. Like it came through Bobby, us just hanging out and all of that, and then next thing you know, we're doing music, and next thing you know, we're releasing. But it was so like I don't know, like natural and effortless and unplanned. It's the kind of thing like sometimes life throws something at you, and you're like, I'm just gonna go with it. I don't know where this is gonna lead, but I'm just gonna
go with the flow.
Go with the flow, and if it turns out to something great, then that's wonderful. But I just followed the good feeling it was giving me. I felt good doing it. So I was like, I want to do it more because I am enjoying it, and let's see what happens. We're in the let's see what happens part right now.
That's amazing. That's quite a journey, but at least that you finally figuring it out what you wanted to do, like passionate for, like so like the music and continue doing that. What about you?
I worked a lot of jobs during high school and after high school, and I think the longest job I ever had was like 2.5 years. I've been playing music my entire life, and music was really the only thing that I didn't get bored of. I got bored. The reason why I left all these jobs is I just got bored. I was always good at what I did, but who wants to work at a call center?
Wasn't fulfilling for you,
Not
right?
at all.
Yeah.
But music was always something that was just always there, and it was something that I would never get bored of. And I just, at one point, I just said, forget it. I'm just going to pursue this. And it was difficult at first, but I ended up getting teaching jobs. So I was teaching like beat making and music production.
Oh, cool.
So I did that for about 8 years. Like Vancouver Toronto. So yeah, I mean, it was quite a journey, but again, music's always something that I will never get tired of it.
It's amazing. That's incredible. I love the fact that how you guys all tried different careers or different experiences in life, and then finally finding out, what the thing that I actually want to do was music, and it was something that you guys were doing along the way, but then it took you that long time to figure it out. So for young viewers that are watching this or they want to get into music, what advice do you guys have for them that they can prepare for it? Because obviously music industry is not just as a glamour that we're seeing. So what advice would you have?
Start now.
Start now.
Start now.
No, I would say like work at your craft, because music is something that like comes very instinctively for some people that are just naturally gifted, but it's something that is learned, and there's a lot to learn. And even like I still feel like I'm at the very beginning of my musical journey, and I'm still learning a lot and doing voice lessons every single day, and I'm learning about all these different aspects of music and how intricate and vast, and how there's so much to music, and it's like it's not enough to be like, oh, I'm a good singer, I think I can do this. And there's the whole business aspect of it all also. So I think it's like keep learning, keep growing as an artist and educating yourself and all that. And I think the other thing I would say that I learned quite quickly is it's okay to have an identity as an artist and to not let it go or let it be transformed by someone else's idea of what you should do or who you should be. Because when I started, I first connected with a manager, and I was sending him what I was creating, songs that we would have recorded here at the studio, and he always wanted to change it to other things. Like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I think it should sound more like this. Or he was giving me comparisons of other female artists. I wanted to sound more like her, or blah blah blah. And
but then that was not you.
But exactly. And I eventually stopped working with that person because I was like, but that's not me. That's not what I want to do. Like, my identity as an artist is important. If I don't have that, then I don't want to do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, no, that's how I want to express myself, musically speaking. And and it's okay to have that and hold on to that, you know. So I think that would be nice.
It's a very negative knowledge, you know. Like understanding yourself and also doing some homework and research and things like that. So what would you also say?
Practice. Practice.
Do it now and practice.
Learn an instrument, even if you're just a rapper or just a singer. Learn an instrument. It helps.
Yeah.
And yeah, never stop working, and make sure that as you are recording more and more and more stuff, that everything is progressively getting better. And challenge yourself. Step outside of the box. One of the main things that sort of helped me along my career was I went to a songwriting camp, and on the second day I was put in a group of two country writers, and I was like, I've never written a country song in my life, but we did a country song, and it was not only was it a lot of fun, it basically made me realize that hey, if I can do a country song, I can do anything.
Do we have a copy of that country song to listen to?
Somewhere.
We'll find out. That's amazing. Yeah. What quite a journey experience, you know. Kind of taking yourself out of the box and trying something new, and then that way you know that the sky is the limit.
Totally.
You'll be able to try new experience and kind of develop as an artist.
There's a lot more to it than just 8 bars. You got 3 hooks, you got hooks, you got different parts, you got different chord progressions. It doesn't always just have to be a loop.
So in terms of I know you're a writer, a music songwriter. So what is that process like for somebody to write a song? Like, what is that journey like, mentally or just talent?
I think it's probably different for everybody. But for me, I write very visually. So I'll listen to a beat and I'll start seeing images. And I write it's almost like I almost see, for example, like what the music video for it would be. And then I start writing.
So you're working backwards.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. So I really go from if I'm listening, images come to my mind, and maybe that comes from the film and background and all of that. Like I'm someone that's super visual, and I have a lot of ideas when it comes to visual and films and videos and that sort of thing. So that comes first, and then I start writing. And I really like to write in a bath. No, it's the truth. No, it's I don't know what it is, but I'll just draw a really hot bath, Epsom salt, candles, and I just play the beat, and
you want to be in the mood and the zone,
I need to it's like I'm calling the creative God, and I'm let's have set the tone and have that environment that is I guess beneficial for my creativity to start flowing. And being in the bathtub really helps with that for me. So, I don't know, I'll usually have my laptop there, and I'll have a pen and a notebook nearby, and I'll be just chilling in the bath, and I'll be oh my god, yes, this is so good, and I'll start writing. I've written a lot of songs like that, and I think it helps too when you find an environment. You need to be stimulated and have an environment that it facilitates that stimulation. So I found a really great cafe near my house where I would just go and sit there for an afternoon and just write.
That is something I can definitely relate to, finding the environment that could be creative for. For me, I tend to do a lot of my editing of creative writings, and also doing blogs, because I'm a blogger too. So I tend to do it from 12 a.m. up until 6 a.m. Around that time, a lot of people are sleeping, but I'm up and writing, creating, editing, and all that. So I feel that's my mood when everybody in the house is sleeping. And then as soon as 6 a.m. comes, I'm going to sleep. But then
that's how I work too.
I like to work at night.
After 7 o'clock, from 7 p.m. till about 4, I start getting really tired at 4. Those are peak times. It's interesting to just kind of know that what that day of the time of the day that actually works for you, and also the environment. For me, it's my room. My room is my sacred sanctuary, where I do my creative work. So that's one. I was actually going to transition that to you.
what is it like the journey of you creating a beat? Because I know you also since you were like me working at night, so what does that journey look like?
Um, it's a lot of just looking for different sounds until I find something that catches my ear, and sort of once I find that, then it's just finding sounds that go with that now. Um, most of the time I start with the instrumentation, not the drums, but every now and again I'll start with the drum track. Um, but I mean, I've made so many beats now that I almost don't even have a process anymore because I don't even think of it. Okay, what kind of song are we making today? Oh, we're making some reggaeton today? Alright, let me pull up the reggaeton sounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Or sometimes like we've had like one song in my project. The song is called Fire, and I said to Bobby, I want a beat that's like a slow burning fire, like a mysterious fire. So we just started sort of with that.
Yeah, just looking for sounds that sound like that.
Yeah, and one time we were in a park, and I think like we were looking out, and I don't know what it was that day in the park, but everything seemed like almost like circus lights. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, we both was like, we should make a beat with like what we're seeing right now, like based on like what we're looking
like
at.
Kind of noises.
Yeah, and so we
I love how your creativity, guys, like both of you kind of merge together and flow. You guys are able to create a lot of great things.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it was one of the greatest things for me, like being quite new to music, working with Bobby, that's super experienced in comparison. But just sort of understanding each other creatively, and I felt so easily understood. I just would say a couple of words or just throw an idea out there, and he would start vibing with that idea and create something that would give me another idea, and it was just like, oh, okay, creatively speaking, it works. And that's, I think, it's super important.
That's definitely super important. And I noticed like earlier when we are listening to all the hit singles that you guys are creating, and I noticed that there's also like each and every song has its own unique tone. They're not repetitive, and a lot of producers seem to have kind of that sound the same, but that's not with you. With yours, it's like musically genius. I don't know how you do it because every song is kind of taking you into a new journey. Like we listened to like the first one is like, yes, I'm about to hit the dance floor, and then you went into like a hip hop with a French. Like, I don't even understand a single word you said, but it was vibing, and then you took us to like a whole just kind of relaxing, smoothing. Yeah, that's amazing. So for somebody who wanted to enter your industry, obviously creating those beats, what are other resources available for them to start?
I mean YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube, you can find everything on YouTube. The recordings to get recording software nowadays is not that expensive. Things like GarageBand are free. All you really need is some of the drum sounds. And I mean the internet. The internet's got everything.
Google everything.
Google, and I mean, download GarageBand and watch YouTube tutorials. Or download Logic and watch YouTube tutorials because, I mean, I came up in a time where there was no YouTube. So in order to learn something, you had to read manuals, or you had to know somebody who had this piece of gear who could show you how it works, or, you figure it out by trial and error. But everything is on YouTube now, and there's hundreds of tutorials on how to do anything. If you want to make dubstep, there's videos on how to make dubstep. If you want to make trap beats, there's all sorts of tutorials. And I find myself watching these tutorials from time to time as well. Excuse me. Before working with Madeleine, I hadn't really made any reggaeton. And so basically I went on YouTube and was like, how do I make reggaeton drums? And watched a couple of videos and sort of picked it up from there.
That's amazing. And I know earlier you said something like you were a teacher, like you were to teach. So do you also have courses available right now online for somebody that wants to purchase your course?
Unfortunately not, because I do one-on-one, but the course that I was teaching, the school owns, so I don't actually have access to that.
Okay.
But that being said, 70% of it is on Google, Wikipedia, and YouTube. The other 30% comes from up here.
So for people that want to follow your work or follow your music and journey and kind of also listen to your album, where can they find you and what are your social media handles if you just want to let it go?
My social media handles is my social media handle, like putting S's everywhere. My social media handle on Instagram is at Miss Madeleine Official, and my EP is entitled Bring on the Night, and it's available on every digital music platform, Spotify, um, Apple's, iTunes, Deezer, whatever, Google Play, whatever, Napster, I mean, you go on, there's all of that. Yeah, but if you look up my day, my artist name, or Bring On The Night, you should be able to find it on, again, Instagram. At
My name is B.Morales, on Instagram. You can catch my album Part 2. It's on Spotify. It's on all future platforms as well. It's on SoundCloud, B.Morales Music, and B.Morales Music.
Alright, thank you for you guys. Make sure to follow them on your social media as well as YouTube. YouTube, Instagram. Instagram is the best place to go, and then you can divert or just Google the names. You will find all the musical platforms out there. And it was a pleasure to speak to you. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of the quarantine season and also giving me a little bit of glimpse of what you guys are working with. It's an honor to be Until then, make sure the description for all their social media handles will be posted down in the description below. And I'll be following you there. So have a good day, guys. I appreciate it.